My name is Guillaume Blais and I'm currently in my fourth year with a double major in biomedical science and political science. I'm originally from London, Ontario. I've lived on campus for 2 years in my first 2 years, and now I've lived 2 years off campus, and I'm really interested in representing you guys on the Board of Governors. The University of Guelph's Board of Governors is a very interesting organization in that it is really the figurehead at the top of this university. In my experience on campus in these years, I've come to know that being at the top is not necessarily important, but understanding how things work is very important. And in the current challenges that we face, we must make sure that there is student representation at the very top. And although the Board of Governors doesn't necessarily carry on everything that goes on at the university, it's important that there are student voices there and that student voices are heard. There are so many challenges, and every challenge that we face at the university is a student challenge. And it is important that those on the Board of Governors understand that, and my intent is to be there to represent you in that voice. In my 4 years on campus so far, I've taken on various leadership positions. I began in my first year in Inter-Hall Council, stayed in Inter-Hall Council for a second year, and then moved on to work in the Department of Athletics and the intramural program, and as well in my college government as a vice president and then later a president. The skills in those roles have given me an understanding of how the university works, both from a student leadership perspective and from an administrative leadership perspective. In my last 2 years, I've served on Senate, this year serving as a Student Senate Caucus co-chair, and this year I also represented you, alongside Gavin Armstrong, on the university's Board of Governors. My experiences with both students and administrators of this university allow me to understand how things work in and out. And I think in my experience on the Board of Governors, in particular this year, I've come to understand what the Board of Governors is, how they work, and how students are best represented at that table. And I think it would be a privilege for you to allow me the opportunity to return to the table and speak on behalf of all students. At this university, there are a variety of policies, and I don't think I expect any student to understand every single one of them. And I'm going to be honest, I don't understand every single policy that goes on at this university. What I do understand is what the students believe and what the students want, and that those choices are different, and that students believe different things and would like different things to happen at this university. My understanding of the university is vast, as I've already explained to you in previous questions, and my understanding of how the policies affect students is very important. In my role on the Board of Governors as well, as the president of my student council, I understood how students were affected by decisions that were made at the very top. And I think it's important that students understand where their place is in these discussions, and their place is very strong. And understanding where students fit is where I come in. In my experience, I have been able to speak to students and understand their needs and their desires, and not everyone wants free tuition. Not everyone wants expensive tuition. But there is a middle ground and there is a way to make things happen for students. And my understanding of the policies brings that into focus. And I think it's really important to have me as your representative on the Board of Governors so I can input your voice into the discussions at the table. For my term on the Board of Governors, I have a variety of goals that I'd like to carry out for students. Importantly, I think students recognize that there is an absence on campus and that there is no dome. And the changes that are going on campus affect everything from the athletic center to the pathobiology building. And students need to be aware of what is going on and why things are going on. I think so often students are misunderstood, or students misunderstand communications coming from the university. And one of my goals is to ensure that students understand who's building the buildings, why they're building the buildings, and why we are building buildings in a time when we don't have very much money. And why the government is choosing to build these buildings, I think, is most important. Also, I want to make sure that it is transparent, that students understand what's going on board. I want to be able to make myself available for students in a variety of forms, whether it be through student government, whether it be through clubs, whether it be through activities like sports on campus, so they can speak to me, find me approachable, and raise any concerns they have with me that I can bring up to the board. I think it's also important that students understand what is going on at the board, and that it's not just a body at this institution that carries on day to day that students are unaware of. It is a place where students belong, and it is a place where I believe I have a place representing students. And I would appreciate your vote in this. Thank you. I believe there are a variety of ways to connect with students on campus, through student clubs, through organizations, through sports, and of course through friendships. In particular, I have already been acclaimed to a seat in the University Senate, where I will be returning for my third term. On Senate, you speak with students from a variety of degrees and a variety of programs, and I think my ability to communicate with them about the administrative tasks at the university allows me to understand what students are thinking about in their different programs, whether they be BCom, Bachelor of Engineering, Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science. I could list them all, but I'll refrain right now. I also think it's important that you participate in the university community, that you are a member of the university, that you don't just wake up, come to school, and go home and fail to communicate. I think it's important that if you take on a role in the Board of Governors, like I will, that you extend yourself, that you extend an olive branch to students so that they can speak with you and understand what is going on. My activities on campus are wide. You'll find me in the gym most mornings at 8:30. You can come talk to me, it won't bother me. You can also come and speak to me when you find me on campus or speak to me in class. I'm also available online through Facebook, and I make myself available for this very reason. Students need to know what is going on, and as a Board of Governor representative, students deserve to know what is going on. And it should be my responsibility to give students the opportunity to speak with me. So if you do elect me to the Board of Governors, which I wish that you will, please, feel free to come and speak with me whenever you wish. I'd like to encourage you all to go and visit my Facebook group, GI for BOG. As well, I have a Facebook event because that is the cool thing to do, and you are more than welcome to go and join that event. I encourage you to vote February 14th through 18th. You will receive a ballot online via the University Secretariat. I'd like to thank my friends and everyone who supported me in my many years on campus. This will, if I am re-elected, be my last term on the Board of Governors, and I would like to thank everyone for their support. As well, you can all look forward to a special campaign video that will be coming out shortly. Thanks.